Hey Taurus, thank you so much for joining us for your first monthly reading on this channel, Three Rabbit Tarot. We're going to be pulling a bunch of cards here to kind of build up a profile for the month of March. And this is something that we're not going to be doing every month for now. It's kind of just like a way to thank everybody for subscribing. We just hit 100 subscribers. We just hit 100 subscribers a week or so ago. So this is like a way to kind of thank everybody for joining us, and then also to give you more of like an outline going into like the month, right? Rather than throwing you into like a weekly reading. This will kind of like set your mind frame for what to be expecting for this month, and also just kind of like help give like a little bit more context to those weekly readings that we do as well. So Taurus here, we're going to pull two cards to start out. The first one is going to be dealing with your general energies for the month, like what you're giving out into the world and like just like your mindset right now, basically. And our second card here is going to be dealing with like energies that you should kind of just maybe avoid or just be on the lookout for, just kind of things to keep in mind right now that could kind of like just mess you up a little bit. So here with your general energies, we have the Eight of Feathers, which is talking about courage and solutions. And I think that this came up in a weekly reading for Taurus, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But it came up in a weekly reading just for like last week for the 21st to the 28th. Here with the mouse, we don't often think of mice as being courageous, but despite being very small creatures, they are packed with like a lot of bravery. So I think that right now, people don't quite see the strength that you have right now. I think that you're able to offer like a lot of solutions to really big problems. I think that you're able to offer a lot of experience and solutions to problems this month, but a lot of people aren't going to quite, I don't know, they're just not going to fully grasp it. Like for instance, we see like, when we think of bravery and like finding solutions, we think of like, all these other giant predator animals, for instance. We don't think of like a mouse, So I think that right now you can be feeling a little bit overlooked right now, even though you have all these great solutions. Here in your energy to be on the lookout for, it doesn't have to be necessarily anything negative here. And a lot of these cards aren't negative, so don't expect anything too crazy. We have the Eight of Shells card, which is telling us that we have like a little bit of like quest and renewal here. So I'd just be on the lookout right now for new opportunities. Of course, if you feel as though you're not being valued where you are, if you're offering all these great solutions to problems and you're not being completely heard out right now, I think that there could be new things coming into your life. There could be people like willing to listen to you right now, coming in off the sidelines, maybe offering you new job positions or new relationships, for instance. Let's go ahead and clarify a little bit further. So we're going to pull one card here for your career and school, one card here for your finances, and then finally one for love. Taurus, your area of school and work right now, we have the Hermit card, which is kind of like a little bit appropriate, judging by what we're kind of talking about here, like feeling as though you're not being heard right now. You have like all this strength to offer to the world. You have the light here that you're carrying to offer to the world, but you don't feel like you're being completely heard out right now. I think that that's going to be like a big amount of tension for you right now. It's just kind of like not so much like finding your voice, but really asserting your voice right now over like big issues in your like school or workplace. Here in your area of finances, we have the Ace of Wands, and again, there could be, as we were talking about, a new opportunity opening up to you. This new opportunity for finances here could be really engaging in something artistic right now. It doesn't mean that you're going to find overnight success. I don't want to suggest that like, oh, you're going to be offered to star in like, some show and then you're going to become a millionaire like by the end of next month. Definitely not going to happen. But I think that as far as your finances go, there is like a new creative opportunity here for you that could eventually grow into something much larger. That could grow into something much larger so long as you invest enough energy into that. Here in your area of love, though, we have the Five of Swords card. Not the best card for love right now. I definitely don't see a Taurus finding too much love right now in March. So if you're single, I think that right now you can be feeling like a little bit betrayed, or you can be in a situation where you're dealing with like two other people and you're not quite sure how things are going to pan out. Like maybe you like had an interest in like one person and then they had like an interest in like somebody else and didn't realize that you felt that way towards them, and they've been focusing all their energy on this other like third person, for instance. That's kind of like the vibes that I'm getting here. And I can kind of see you as being in a position right now where, at least in March, the positive thing about this is that you're willing to kind of understand that situation that isn't really panning out for you. And I think that you're willing to gather up the strength to walk away from it and to kind of find something that's better suited for you. So if you've been in like a really weird situation with multiple people right now and it just is too much drama and it's not working out, that's kind of how I see things panning out. I think that you're about to just like take your shit and go, basically, which is a strong place to be, Taurus. Here we're going to pull 3 more cards. So we're going to pull 1 card here for your friends and family, another card for any obstacles that you're facing, and finally a solution here to that obstacle. Here, as far as your friends and family go, we have the 2 of Pentacles card. Definitely like juggling different financial opportunities here. I think that friends could be coming around right now. Those could be the people, if they see like, okay, in your job, you're not being recognized, your friends are gonna know that. They're gonna know how skilled and how talented you are and how much you've invested in this career. And I think that they're gonna be the ones to say, okay, this is bullshit, we wanna help you out, basically. And maybe they wanna start something new with you because they see the talent that you have. I kind of be on the lookout right now for friends who are wanting to start up these new, what seemed like crazy opportunities before. They might seem a little bit more realistic, a little bit more grounded now. You might be in the right mind frame to take on those new things. Here in your area of obstacles, we have the here in your area of obstacles, we have the Page of Pentacles card, just kind of telling me that you're gonna have some difficulty entering into like this new thing. If you decide, again, this is, not to like dictate your life or anything. If you're in a really stable position right now where you feel like you're not being heard, you can go ahead and stay there. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can find different ways to assert yourself. But if you're granted this crazy new opportunity by like really close friends or something, I just kind of see that your obstacle right now is going to be still kind of overcoming that same thing, like really asserting yourself. Even if you're really excited about this new prospect and opportunity, you're still gonna like carry like a little bit of that same energy from your last job going into like this new artistic pursuit, this new project, even a new career as well. So I kind of be on the lookout for that. Basically taking this old energy into something that you're doing that could be new and like really revitalize you at this moment. Here is a solution right now. We have the King of Swords card. So I think that, again, it's assertiveness, basically, Taurus. I think that right now, like the big challenge is just like finding that voice and then like really making your assertiveness in a situation known. I think that you have like a lot of talent and skill, but it's just not being wholly recognized right now, Taurus. So I think that that's going to be the big challenge that you're kind of dealing with for this month. Here at the bottom, though, we're going to pull 1 card for the beginning of the month, and then 1 card for the end of the month. So kind of see where we were, where we're going. Taurus here, starting out, we have the Queen of Shells with peace and compassion. Again, if you're in like that weird work situation where people aren't quite understanding you, they're not totally hearing you out. I see a Taurus here though who's like very understanding though, and like very kind and understanding about that. Maybe doesn't want to like rock the boat too much, basically. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't mean like just because your voice isn't being heard doesn't necessarily mean that the people look down on you in some way. Like maybe they just have kind of like maybe they just kind of like typecasted you. Like I know like for me, like a lot of people say like, oh Bryce, I know for me, a lot of people say that I'm like really quiet. So they just make this assumption. You're just like a quiet, introverted person off in the corner. That's not totally the case. Like sometimes I just don't feel like speaking up, for instance. And I think that right now you could be in that position right now. So you're really at least kind of understanding of other people. And I think that other people don't harbor any ill will towards you right now, Taurus. And at the end of this month, we have the King of Acorns with optimism and innovation. So pretty exciting way. I'd say if there is like a crazy new opportunity for you right now, Taurus, I think that it's not like it's going to come out of nowhere and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to like change everything about my life and start this new project. I really think that this is something that you've wanted to do for a long time. And I think that going into this month, certain little pieces are going to start clicking for you, Taurus. So there could be a Taurus out there who's going to be given new opportunities to start something new, which is... So there's going to be a Taurus out there who's going to be given opportunities to start something new. And I think that if you can really commit just a lot of energy into that, I think that it could be a little bit prosperous for you. But there's going to be hardships going into that. And that is going to be something that spans much larger than like this monthly reading. That could be something that could take off in like the next 6 months or the next year. So if you're really starting something new right now, this is the month where things are going to start coming together a little bit. But then again, it's a tale of two Tauruses here. You don't have to go one way or the other. It's really up to you. Like wherever you feel the most comfortable right now, Taurus, that's where you should be exerting your energy. And Taurus, here at the end of the reading, we're going to pull 3 cards for 3 yes, no, or maybe questions. So if you want to pause the video and think of those questions, we're going to pull 1, 2, and 3. So Taurus, here for your first question, I have a definite yes. For your second question, I have a little bit of a maybe here. And for your last question, I have a no, unfortunately, Taurus. So Taurus, thank you so much for joining us at 3 Rabbit Tarot. If this reading resonated with you, please check out your sun, moon, and rising as well. And then also check out your weekly readings, because that's going to really break down what this monthly reading meant. Like this monthly reading gave you a very vague understanding of the month. And then hopefully those weekly readings really give you like a lot more context and details. So Taurus, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.